Cremations are now allowed in Cyprus after Parliament passed a law last week. However, there are certain conditions. Permits have been given to incineration centres, but there are regulations as to how and where ashes can be disposed of, and people must make their wish to be cremated explicit in writing. Ricky Shields reports.
It's often been said that it is not death but dying which is terrible. However, for those loved ones left behind, finally, it may be possible to fulfil the wishes of the departed. After years and years of lobbying, petitions and campaigns, Parliament passed a law that makes cremation of the dead legal in Cyprus. Chairman of the House Committee on Internal Affairs, Yannis Lamaris, said the law is passed. However, it's still a controversial issue and a very delicate matter due to the conservative nature of Cypriot society, as well as strong opposition from the Orthodox Church of Cyprus. Well, yes, the older generation here are very conservative, but this is changing, although it is in truth very difficult to engage the young on the subject of their own mortality. After all, it's the feeling of invincibility which makes youth so wonderfully vigorous. There are, of course, a number of expats, approximately 24,000 British alone, many of whom would like to have the option of cremation as they do in their country of origin. So whilst a large number of these expats may prefer cremation, the majority population, Greek Cypriots, will still probably opt for burial. Although the law has been passed, there's currently no crematorium in Cyprus, and private companies are looking at the law, the plans and the investment required to get a facility up and running within the next couple of years. However, it's the Church's opposition to cremation which is still a sticking point in the mind of religious Cypriots. According to Archbishop Chrysostomos, although he accepts that it is a human right for one to want to be cremated, he will not allow the Church to give a funeral service for someone who wishes to be cremated. The Archbishop wondered why the Church had to respect someone who did not respect the temple of the Holy Spirit, referring to a person's body, whilst also adding that the Church's opposition to cremation stemmed not from dogma, but rather from the need to preserve tradition. Although how this can be the case, I do not know. The Bible, as far as I can tell, does not prohibit cremation, and other Christian churches do it as a matter of course. If it's an issue of tradition, why be concerned that the body is, as he contends, a temple of the Holy Spirit? The Church is dogmatic, as every church and every religion is. However, these dogma can and do change with time. We no longer stone to death those who wear clothes made of two different cloths, or eat shellfish, for example. Of course, another issue that the Church and all of us need to face is the lack of space. We are a tiny speck of an island whose population has grown from around 450,000 in 1960 to approximately 1.2 million now. The average death rate is over 7,500 per annum. Where are we going to put them all? After my own brush with death last year, in lieu of cremation, I suggested simply wrapping me up in plastic bags and kicking me over a cliff, or perhaps a Viking funeral. However, the addition of a crematorium in Cyprus will give both locals and expats a choice, while helping to save space. And if the Cypriot Greek Orthodox Church won't officiate, well, that's a choice for individuals and families to take for themselves. For, as Schopenhauer said, after your death, you will be what you were before your birth. Now, take from that what you will, but there's no denying that how you live is more important than the method of your disposal after death. This is Mr. Shields reporting for Rock FM.
On air and online at rockfmcyprus.com.
Today's best mix.
Rock FM.